campers. How's everybody doing?
Dude. Anytime I hear that, I think of the NWO Wolfpack theme. Is that is that just playing 24/7 at the Great Wolf Lodge? It ought to be.
Yeah. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, they greet you as you walk in the front doors. Nah, dude, I gotta tell you, man, they nickel and dime you for everything that you could possibly purchase. But the Great Wolf Lodge in Perryville, hey, I give them some big ups. They did. It's a good spot. They know what they're doing. They figured out they know how to utilize their space. We had a great 3-day adventure at the Great Wolf Lodge. I mean, just shit that doesn't even make sense. William's walking around like a fucking wizard in a campground lodge looking thing with a wolf theme, yet he's running through the Valley of the Ferns, whisking his magic at random objects at electronic trees. Sounds about right, right?
Whatever the hell that is.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I mean, but
did you take this is like a junior cult thing that you got him signed up for?
Dude, I don't know how it worked in with the wolf theme at all, but what I'll say is like all that empty space that would just be there that would otherwise just be like a building to hold a hotel and a water park is now filled up with you running errands from computer screen to computer screen, like giant iPads. There's a couple of spots with like these video screens that are shooting down from the ceiling and like the best computer graphics 1998 had to offer with like weird fucking creatures like, good job, Magi. I'm so glad you found the 5 runes. Now you can use these 5 runes to save the forest. Go back to the tree of life and cast a spell. And then you get there and you got to now find the horseshoe of destiny along with the snowflake of misery. And you got to walk around this place and whisk your wand at shit, and it collects it, and you go back, and yeah. So it filled up the adventure. He enjoyed the shit out of it, and I got my rings closed on my Apple Watch. So it all worked out for everybody. And there's a water park.
How do you get your rings closed on your Apple Watch? Is that a whole totally different adventure? It's like Sonic. You got to get so many rings.
Normally, I just have to cry and run outside all day, but this time I just got to walk around a, oddly decorated wolf lodge with a water park, by the way. Again, that's what they're there for. It's the water park.
That's what I was going to say. I thought it was but mostly a water park. Now you're telling me there's like kind of choose your own adventure novels lived out.
Yeah. Dude, there's a high ropes course, which homeboy, little band, fucking rocked out on, got scared the first day, got up, like, the first floor is like a story, right? But then there's a second half, and it works you up to about 2.5 stories high, and he kind of chickened out the first time. As soon as he got done, he's like, I want to go back on. I want to go do it. I was like, fine, dude. I'll pay to go do it again, and we'll do it again. And we fucking did it, dude, and he fucking rocked it. And I got to tell you, man, when you're 2.5 stories up at a water park, and your dad, let me just say, look down, all right? Look down. There's plenty of ladies walking around underneath of you. You'll get your thrills watching your son accomplish his fears and, maybe watching some women succumb to theirs.
That's funny. Well, congratulations, I guess. Money well spent. They did the nickel and dime you. It was the bottom line of the total tally enough to make you kind of say fuck that for another couple of years?
Nah, we'll go next year. But like $15 a day for parking. Like what else? Like why'd you tell me about it? I think that pisses me off more than anything. Fold the $15 a day into the overall price of the stay. Like don't tell me about it, because otherwise I would have parked in the casino parking lot for 3 days and just waited for a fucking ticket to come, which would probably be cheaper than the $15 a day I spent on parking. It's stuff like that. $5 for an ice cream sandwich, like the little Bluebell ice cream sandwich, $5, everything was $20 for like a 10-inch pizza, stuff like that. You've already got me there. Thankfully, I know where I am because it's in Perryville, so I just went around Subworks, places like that, and got my food and brought it back, put it in my book bag because they won't let you bring it in. Stuff like that. So yeah, just getting you on every little thing, which I guess is expected. But.
You put a large 16-inch pizza in your book bag?
No, I didn't buy a pizza. I went and I bought subs.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That'd have been something. Fold it in half and jam it in there. Pizza sauce and oil dripping out of the bottom. What do you got in there, sir? No.
It's just a calzone.
Yeah.
I got from your restaurant downstairs.
Yeah. My son and I played this weird game where we fold the pizza and put it in book bags and run around with it. That way the cheese and the pepperonis are all mashed up.
We figured we'd save the forest faster. We just kept it in the book bag. No time for snacks.
That actually, something like that happened to me in real life. I didn't put a pizza in a book bag, by the way. But in Dewey Beach, Grotto's is the fucking tourist trap of all tourist traps of pizza. I don't like it. I think the sauce is way too acidic-y. Is that right? Do you think it's terrible? It's not terrible. I just don't. It's way overrated.
You know what? It's overrated because honestly, it tastes like the Chef Boyardee like pizza kit that you used to get as a kid, but it's made by quote unquote professional pizza people, and it shouldn't taste like that.
So we had been drinking all night, and I volunteered. I said, if you guys give me some money, I'll go down and get some pies. And I think I wound up with like 2 or 3 larges, carrying them on, stacked on top on my hip, and was doing this. I was acting more drunk than I really was, and acting like I was going to walk out into traffic, like I was going to stumble out on the oncoming traffic in Route 1 in Dewey Beach. And it was a real stupid dick move. And I thought for sure that a car pulled over that was a cop. So I took the pizzas that were parallel to the ground, made them perpendicular by tucking them 90 degrees upwards, and took off running for the house. I was like, oh my God, I think the cops are trying to chase me. And yeah, all the cheese fell down to one side. We tried our best. What are you do? You're drunk.
Yeah. But pizzas are usually pretty stable. What was it? The sauce that bled out? Well, they put the sauce on top too, so there's no like cheese coating to hold the sauce in place. So it just drips
it's
everywhere.
the fact that I had pizza boxes that were the way they were designed to be, bottom facing the ground, and turned it perpendicular to that, and jammed it up in my armpit and ran as fast as I possibly could.
Let me tell you, as a former pizza delivery professional. My pizza boxes ended up in some precarious positions, maybe hitting the brakes a little too hard coming up to a red light, maybe hitting the gas a little too hard coming up to a red light. So most of the pizzas, it's not like those horror stories you see on the TikTok. Usually they stay pretty much in place, unless you're a real jackwagon.
Yeah.
You're concurring, Alan?
Yeah, I myself was once a pizza delivery professional, and yeah, I'd have to agree with him. Really, the only real negative thing I did was I'd steal a buffalo chicken kicker. If you happen to get an order of those included with your pizza, that might give you a clue as to which pizza joint I worked for as well.
Well, I was going to ask.
If you got some buffalo chicken kickers, well, you were one down. I'm done.
I know where Murr delivered for. You won't say?
No, it was Domino's. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. I didn't. You had an NDA signed or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris, where, when and where?
Oh God, I was like, I don't know, 19 maybe. Fucking in Arbutus, but yeah, from my old stomping grounds.
Dude, and I'm not joking when I call myself a pizza delivery professional here, because we had a little crew running at the old, I don't even think it's not called Nino's anymore. They changed the name. I don't know why. I haven't figured out why yet. But our crew was so good that we actually got recruited by the Domino's pizza that had just opened up over where the Rita's was. And I was like, you get disgruntled with wherever you're working, no matter what. And I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna take him up on this, because I used to hang out with the manager of the Domino's at the Beachcomber, the bar in Charlestown. And so I finally went in there. I'm like, wait, I'm a pizza delivery professional. I don't make pizzas.
Yeah, no, that's a key. That's key right there. Gotta agree with him. I think my manager was like 16, 17 years old. And one crazy busy day, I came back from a run. He was like, "Hey man, you should jump online and make some pizzas." I was like, "Whoa, no." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Hurry up, stop arguing, go make pizzas. I need pizzas to deliver. Go fucking do it." And he was very upset, but he made pizzas, and I sat in the corner while he made pizzas.
Yeah, man, I got half a cigarette left to smoke, and I'm going to do that out here until you get my order up, and I'll run that down to the end of Old Elk Neck, buddy. But until then, This guy don't fucking slap the fucking cheese topping on top of your fucking pies.
Does it look like I'm getting flour all over myself? Get the fuck out of here, buddy. Go make them pizzas.
And then I lied to him and said, like, yeah, Nino's offered me a manager spot, so I'm going to head back over there. They ain't offered me a manager spot. They're like, yeah, you want to come back? Fuck it. Just get a uniform. You still got them? Yeah, I still got them. All right, see you tomorrow. All right, see you tomorrow. And that's what I
You're
did.
still on payroll. We never even took you off.
Dude, yeah, because they paid us like, we negotiated a raise. We're the only delivery drivers in the place that ever negotiated a raise for that place. We're making $4 an hour, and obviously we kept our tips. They were all cash, all tax tips and everything. And, dude, we made out. I mean, I was like 22 years old, $100 cash in pocket every fucking night, straight to the bar, straight to apologize to my now former manager at the Domino's Pizzeria, where I told him to kick rocks. I ain't making pies, and I ain't saucing wings. I drive. And by the way, kiddos, this is before GPS. There was a skill to knowing how to fucking stack your orders. You leave that building with 5 orders, you better know where the fuck you're going.
Yeah, Alan, drawing a route for pizza delivery, right?
What's that? Sorry, I was reading something.
He said it says before GPS. If you went in your car with 5 pizzas, you better plot a course.
I don't know. I don't think I had like the GPS like we're accustomed to it right now. I mean, I was like 2005.
Yeah, you might have had a Magellan.
Yeah, and I didn't have one of those. We wasn't making TomTom money. Yeah, I was a delivery professional, man. Come on, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. So you did have to kind of know your way around, and we did have one of those giant maps that I'm pretty sure only was given to like pizza places and fucking like trucking companies. Like it's the size of the world.
Yeah,
it really only encompassed like 2 counties, and you were like, all right, where are we going? It's off Springfield. You said Springfield Street. And there's always like a 75-year-old delivery guy. You're like, so where is it again? And he's like, dude, it's right there. And I'm like, nope, that's not a place. That doesn't exist. Yeah.
Here's one of my most heartbreaking stories ever, Wes. Like the counter girls, we always gave them special instructions. If you get this address, ask this specific question, because across the like the way there, like Charlestown and like downtown Northeast, there was a road that if you could extend that road across the water, it would continue on the other side. And you always had to tell them, make sure you ask Charlestown or Northeast. It's very important for South Edgewater Road. You have to ask that question. One day, didn't ask the question. I assumed it was on the Northeast side. I get all the way down there, go to a payphone. I'm like, sir, where is you? I can't seem to find your address here, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, can you just turn your front porch light on? And I'm literally looking across the water, and I see a porch light come on, like a mile that way. And I'm like, I'll be there in about 25 minutes. I know it's been 25 minutes already. I know. They didn't say Charles. Okay, I'll be there. But bye. Yeah. At a payphone, putting fucking quarters in to call a fucking customer. No cell phone.
Yeah, I at least had a cell phone.
Yeah.
It didn't tell me where to go, but I didn't have to do that.
And then you did the trick where it just rings continuously over and over again, whatever the digits were, then pound, bring. This is what I was thinking when you said you'd pocket this money and go to the Beachcomber to talk to your old boss at Domino's. You have to continue the lie because you said you left for Nino's for management. You're like,
Yes.
oh man, mid management sucks, man. It's not all it's crapped up to be. I wish I was still a delivery driver. Glug 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 glug. Let me ask you guys this. So we've talked about this many moons ago on the podcast about the importance in the life lessons that are learned working in not just customer service, but a restaurant, in a restaurant kitchen. Okay. Whether you dishwash, which most, entry level positions are, you work your way up. Perhaps you're a chef. I myself was a steamer professional.
Cleveland steamer.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I was a steamer and a Cleveland steamer specialist. But do you consider or categorize pizza delivery in that same realm at all?
Alan?
Yes and no. It's not, because I've done a lot of other fucking customer service roles. So, and it wasn't like the rest of them. Like, I wasn't so customer facing. I was just kind of the guy who was like, Here's your pizza. All right, thanks for the $3.50. Appreciate it. Like, you know what I mean? So it wasn't as much like I didn't have to coddle quite as much.
Okay.
So yes and no. I mean, it's still fucking customer service, and you gotta like smile like an idiot and fucking deliver your pizzas. But it's not as bad as like working the Walmart returns desk. You know what I mean? It's not. There's levels to this customer service business.
Okay, that's because we concurred across the panel, the professional panel known as the middle class souls, that every human, for the most part, should work in a restaurant
Well, yes.
once for a little bit. I didn't know if this was quite that that level, but it seems as though you guys have some interesting stories about it.
I would say no, it's not, because I did work in a restaurant. I was a waiter for a summer, and that's a whole different mess. Like
Yes.
that, like dealing with the chaos of a kitchen at rush hour. The push is just you better have your facilities about you, your wits. You better be like behind you. You have to have no shame. You might go butt the balls once or twice. I mean, it's gonna happen, and you just have to have. That's why, like, if you ever want to know what a restaurant's really like, go out back. Just linger around where the dumpsters are. Linger around where they've washed the black mats. See what kind of employees they have out there. They're all going to be smoking. They might even be sniffing a few times. That's not always a bad thing, okay? I would say a highly cocaine back room of a restaurant is a highly efficient, detail-oriented area of your kitchen, and you should be thankful for that.
I think mentally they're detail oriented. In practice, they might miss some stuff, but they try. I agree with them though. Yeah, it's not the same. Like you heard both of us basically tell our boss, "Oh, whoa. We'll make pizzas here. I don't know what you think this enterprise is, but we are not here for pizza making." So that tells you a little bit different. Like I've never done that in a restaurant. Chef says some shit, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean?
You could be bussing a table, and if the chef comes out and is like, I need you to go back there and prep a shrimp cocktail right fucking now. You go prep that goddamn shrimp cocktail, and you don't say two words about it. You don't say, I got to clean this table first. No. You drop the fucking bucket on where the fuck it is, and you go do what he said.
I need ice in a martini glass. Stat.
Yeah.
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 You just take this take $60 across town. You're gonna go to this address. He's gonna hand you something. You take the $60, give him the $60, and bring this right back to me. Okay, don't tell anybody. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, dude, because that fucking head chef is on his third fucking marriage, and he doesn't need to miss another alimony payment. And if you fuck up this order, that might just happen. But I like what I loved about pizza delivery though is you only had to deal with the kitchen staff or the manager for like 30 seconds on a good night. Because you'd walk in and you'd go to the screen, and if you were good and you could pick your orders, you're like, no, I'm taking Madden Court, I'm taking Sparrow's Way, and whoever's below you, like, fuck you. Because you knew where the good tips were, and you also then you were in your car for 15, 20 minutes by yourself, smoking your cigarettes, doing whatever. You get there, and if you had a light order, I always did something fancy, like I'd be spinning the pizza on my palm, like walking to the door or something, and I'd say stuff like, from the kitchen to your... that's what it was. From your kitchen to your dining room table. Here you go. Because I wanted to remind them that if you're tipping, you would tip a waitress to bring a plate from the kitchen to the table that is 20 feet away, where I brought it from a fucking restaurant that's 10 miles away. So maybe I should be getting 20%. Think about that before you put your wallet back in your pocket.
Yeah. I always figured the gas is what, paying for the gas and then some.
Yeah, but nobody figured that back in the day. Or even now. I don't think people really think about that, And plus you got DoorDash and shit now.
Yeah. There's actually, but you guys got me, when a chef basically instructs you. I was not a teenager at this point. I was like 23, 24, serving at a restaurant. And they had, man, this thing was a thing of beauty. All right. It was a ketchup dispenser. And you basically, the station was drilled into the wall. It was a plastic kind of U-shaped thing with the spout. And then it was a big, like, ketchup bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you basically, you just change the nozzle, slide it into the slot, and you could refill the bottles. Well, the bag split open all over the salad station, and middle of rush hour, and someone's like, West, can you fucking help out? So I took the squeegee, laced the squeegee with the same squeegee that you squeegeed the floor with when they were cleaning it. But I laced the bottom of it with saran wrap and just fucking and got it into a container. And, there may be a little bit of dirty ketchup here and there. But yeah, again, the chef was like, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Nice.
Do your thing, man.
Dude, man, if the head chef ever gives you a compliment, you're walking around fucking boner for days. Because they do not, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know why anybody would want to be like the head chef of anything. I don't care what kind of restaurant it is. Like, the level of intensity that goes on for 4 hours of their day is just next level.
Yeah. Unless you, the Gordon Ramsays of the world are few and far between. Now, the advent of food television and the travel shows, the Anthony Bourdains, the Andrew Zimmern's, I was going to say the Guy Fieri's, but that's...
Hold on, wait. I don't like the mockery of the Guy Fieri's, because I would argue that there's more people that appreciate the Guy Fieri food than appreciate the Gordon Ramsay food.
Listen, I love Triple D, all right? I love that show.
What I'm saying is I bet the Guy Fieri restaurants, the intensity level that they experience is probably higher than a Gordon Ramsay intensity, because Ramsay has like 5 sous chefs that work around him, where a Guy Fieri is going to be Guy and his best friend who's just some guy.
Right.
It has to get everything done.
So you missed it, because I first said the Gordon Ramsays are few and far between. Then I said Anthony Bourdain, Andrew Zimmern's. And then I said, dare I say, Guy Fieri. My point is, like, why anyone would want to do that. I guess perhaps you carve out enough money or save enough money to carve out something that's yours. You're not working for an owner. You as a chef buy a restaurant and it's yours. But then again, man, like, I've seen restaurant owners who are just as stressed, if not more stressed, than the head chef. And it's more doped up or coked up than the head chefs.
Yeah.
Or just as ruined in their relationship with their significant other than the head chef.
Okay, well, see, I wonder, what would you rather run, Alan? Like a diners, drive-ins, and dives, or whatever the fuck that show's called? Would you rather run a place like that, like a food truck type thing, or would you rather try to go for that Michelin star?
I don't know, man. I think the Michelin star is where you reach that level of stress that like nobody needs. You know what I mean? Like, that's why Anthony Bourdain's dead, and he was like 55. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, well, that and all the other alcohol and cigarettes that come along with the stress of running a kitchen like that. You know what I mean? No, I think I'd much rather be like, the guy that makes like Wagyu sloppy joes at the fucking the Route 86 diner, and fucking Guy Fieri pulls up and like he's like, put it on a flip flop, it's delicious, and then he fucking like stuffs it in his fat face. Like, I think I'd rather be that guy. That just seems low, like still stressful, margins low, probably will ruin a marriage and lose a home when that restaurant closes, much unlike Anthony Bourdain and them, but a lot more whimsical, I think.
I feel like you can be rude to your customers if you run like a sloppy food truck. Okay, everybody's intimidated to go like Pat's or Geno's, because it's like, well, I don't know how to order Whiz, or what do I do? Because they're gonna fucking like skip your order. They're gonna be like, next, if you don't get it out of your mouth right away. There's something that, like, kind of like liberating about that kind of stress. It's just like, I ain't got time for you dumbass customers, because I got a line around the block. You're in the way. I don't need your $6.50. Get the fuck out of my line. No soup for you. Good day, goodbye. Like, that's kind of awesome.
I have the #1 cheesesteak with whiz. Thank you.
Oh, you want onions? What do you want? What else? Is that it? You just want, what do you want? You want steak? You want provolone? What do you want? What else? Is that it? Onion?
Well, I was thinking like the #1 would be the number one.
What's the #1 cheesesteak? What the fuck are you doing? Get out of my line. Get out of my line. I don't care. Get out of here. Go back to Baltimore. Go back to Baltimore. Get your crab cake.
You can't get a good crab cake north of Cecil County. It's known that.
Plus, man, like Wes, we could open like beaners and wieners, you know, and we could make like pork and beans, like gourmet pork and beans, and just slop them out of just slop them into a paper cup, throw a spoon at somebody, and tell them to move on.
Alan, this is how this went. We would get a couple beers in us. We'd make these gourmet pork and beans, and as we were stuffing our faces, we would come up with better ideas for flow cakes. We're like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. I was thinking about this all week.
Pork and beans as a base, I feel, it's almost like a stew, and you can put anything in it. You can put some prosciutto in there. You can put some fucking some cut up hot dog with your prosciutto. You can put I don't know, you can put it in a bread bowl. You can throw a big old hunkin' meaty slice of provolone on top and just let it melt away, almost like a French onion soup with beans.
Do it all over again. It would have been pancetta. That'd have been the pork.
Man, Alan, one year the Fox family got this fucking half wheel of cheese, straight from the heartland.
My grandfather would drive to 6 hours to Wisconsin and buy 14 cheese wheels that were about, I don't know, a foot in diameter and 2 foot tall, and he'd buy them for everyone in the family.
And we were just ripping off hunks of this fucking wheel and putting them in the center of a bowl of fucking pork and beans and just letting it melt into a stewy goo. It's good.
It doesn't sound terrible.
There was a friend. We had the wheel with the little wire that you could peel off little strips.
Yeah.
And a friend of ours, Warwick Dilby, would wheel off probably 6 or 7 of those and do a big pile of spicy mustard. Dunk it in there and God, lovely.
Sounds about right.
Makes me want to drive 6 hours for a fucking cheese wheel right now.
I wouldn't drive 6 hours if I had to. My grandfather did it because he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this cheese for everybody."
Yeah.
God bless his soul.
But dude, what a weird, stupid, strange, odd gift to get everybody. But what an amazing tale to tell and a delicacy that people don't always get to enjoy. I know I enjoyed it. I still think about it. This is 20 years ago now.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't eat enough. We were making grilled cheese sandwiches 3 at a time for a month, and be like, "Damn, still got them about halfway to go."
Jeez, man.
I'm shitting my brains out, but whew, boy, I'm feeling good.
Are you shitting at that point? You ain't shitting at all, bro.
Just fucking pellets like a rabbit on the toilet.
Locked up. Yeah.
Middle class hoes, everyone. Foxman, Alan, and Murr. I wanted to get to this real quick before we get into friend or foe. I didn't realize. Sarah said the other day, she was like, "You know, Timberlake got arrested. Were you guys aware of this? Got a DUI?"
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, dude, you've missed some great TikToks, man. You really have. It's like, "Sir, can you walk in a straight line?" And it's just Justin fucking busting a move across the stage.
So I did see that after Sarah had mentioned it, and I said no, and she's like, "You are oblivious to anything that isn't sports, this, that, or the other thing. Anything that's pop culture you know nothing about." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, okay.
It's true.
I guess so." I mean,
unless it's a fucking C-list movie. Then you fucking all over it.
Yeah.
I'll say, if you were 20 years younger, I think you could, because the hilarious thing about this is the cop that pulled him over had no idea who he was either.
I read that. Yeah,
you would at least know who Justin Timberlake was. You're just oblivious to the pop frenzy news coverage that is a pop star getting busted for DUI. At least
he was driving around drunk in the Hamptons. Isn't that what you do? Don't these fucking rich people drive around drunk? Isn't that kind of expected?
I mean, I didn't obviously see the entire journey that the officer probably saw, but I saw the part of the video that apparently alerted the officer to pull him over, and he kind of comes left into some zebra stripes on the road, and but he's not brr, 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 like that old Science and Kirk fucking commercial where if you have a phone, you have a lawyer, and then they flash the fucking phone booth in your face. No, he just kind of drifts over into the left, but he's driving straight enough for me. I'm not an officer of the law, but I'm I guess if you're pulling people over, you pull them over for their wheels coming over lines. But come on. There was nobody around.
That's when you hop out and you yell, "Bees! Bees! They're all over me!"
Bees everywhere.
The old trick my dad taught me. Yeah, I mean, what the DWI? What just and his lawyers vows to vigorously fight the DWI, and Jessica Biel has reactions. Are they still together? They still
Yeah,
married?
they're still together. Yeah, apparently he put his hand on some other actress's hand in a very flirtatious way a couple years ago, and there was a little bit of a skid, but they got back. And dude, why would you cheat on Jessica Biel? She seems like a cool chick, as hot as she's ever been, pushing 40 now. Come on, what are you doing?
I think
Justin?
he made that song Mirrors, and me and Alan were joking about like, yeah, it's really hard to be inspired to write romance songs when you're married to Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
Right.
This must be they're really just digging for inspiration.
Dude, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Oh, that scene where Adam Sandler, making your own movies has its perks, man.
it's the Woody Allen of this generation.
God, it's just like, oh, feel them. Sure. You wrote this into the script, right? Yeah. Yep, sure did. Hold on. But no, I think it's hilarious. And at least he wasn't a total twat about it, because all the quotes coming from Justin where the cops, like, he's like, you don't know who I am? He's like, nope. Like, fuck, well, the tour's ruined. It's like, what tour? The reunion tour we're getting ready to go on. Who's that? NSYNC? Nope. Just the cop. Nope.
Cop's worse than me.
I feel like Justin is probably more crushed by the fact that somebody didn't recognize him than getting the DUI. Look, just say, look, don't drink and drive, kids. You could totally just take this and say, kids, I fucked up, and become like a champion for like Mothers Against Drunk Driving, whatever. Just own it. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have been driving. I'm an idiot. I'm rich. I can Uber. You should Uber too. Yay. And just move on. I don't think people will hold this against you. A 40-something-year-old man goes to the bar and drives home? Like, what day of the week is it?
What was his... well, here's the thing. Like, and I alluded to this earlier. So first of all, I'm trying to remember what his blood alcohol... Police said in court documents that he had bloodshot, glossy eyes. The officer smelled alcohol. Someone with more than a .05 but less than a .07 in New York will be hit with a driving while ability impaired.
Oh, God. Why do they keep doing new acronyms?
DWI. So I guess it was below a .08. So he says DWI. So it wasn't a DUI. Anyway, I said I lost my train of thought here. No, listen, we're not all created equal. I'm sorry, everybody. Like, celebrities and rich folk have entitlements that we don't. And I don't know. I've been to the Hamptons. I've driven around. I'm like, holy shit, this is what this life is like. And I just kind of assumed, they had a different set of laws and regulations. Like, boo, hey, you're a rich person? Yeah. All right, well, I'll escort you home.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, I guess they have to know who you are, though. If they don't know who you are, then I guess it's a whole different saga. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I'm okay with a celebrity getting away with something because I gotta be honest with you. I don't know that I've ever given a dime to charity unless it was like the Lions Club and I got a pack of mints along with it. Somebody like Justin Timberlake has been helping out sick kids for the last quarter century. So look, if he, let him skirt on a fucking little bit of a boozy night home, like I'm okay with that. I am. I really kind of, as long as he wasn't endangering someone or like wrecking into anything. But the standard, like, saw you were weaving a little bit back there. Like, yeah, I've had a few drinks. What's your net income? How much do you give to charity every year? Like that's
right.
These are fair questions. And I'm not a Justin Timberlake. I'm not a Justin Timberlake fan. He seems like a nice enough guy. I'm okay with him. Doesn't seem like a total twat for the life that he's had.
This might set him back financially.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right.
What are you doing driving? Is my question. If you're that rich,
I've always wondered that with rich people. Like, that'd be the first thing I do. I would never drive again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Timberlake, we noticed that your Land Rover was left at Hooper's Bar and Grill. It's been there for 3 weeks. Oh yeah, I Ubered home that night. Okay, are you gonna come pick up the vehicle? Oh, I just bought a new one, so if you guys just want it,
Yeah, there's a key. There's a key in the visor.
yeah,
Have at it, man.
just have it.
Yeah,
I've
cheers.
already moved on. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I forgot about it actually. I didn't even know it was there anymore.
So it's
Yeah.
a $125,000 car. Oh, I don't know.
That's it. I didn't even buy it. I just sent somebody to give me the car.
Yeah, my manager just signs things. It's fine.
I'm like, hey, I want a fucking Range Rover, and it shows up in my driveway.
Yeah. I jerked off in the back seats, so yeah, if you can clean those up, it's all yours.
Listen,
Scrape some into a bag, sell it on eBay. It's fine.
I cheated on Britney Spears at the height of our popularity.
Oh, and
You
yeah,
don't, know, you don't know who the fuck I am? Come on.
that's the other one that I'm starting to love too on TikTok. It's that classic like Britney like walking and she turns around, does the.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just okay. Look, Justin got a DUI. You shaved your head to fucking not get your hair taken for samplings of cocaine to lose all of your children, and now you make Vine videos.
Now
Vine's
you
gone.
dance with knives. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure Justin's still up in the wind department.
Oh, God, yeah. There were some really good TikToks. You missed. Yeah.
I saw like from a year and a half ago when she was doing crazy stuff, but she shaved her head in order to avoid
that was back in
child
the
protective
day.
services.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like
I remember
15 years
that.
ago.
I thought she just did that as a publicity stunt. I didn't realize she did
No.
that to protect custody. Or
From
at
what
least-
I understand, K-Fed, who got custody of the kids, by the way, was saying like before their court date, like, well, I'm gonna have them make you take a drug test, get a hair sample, and then the next day she was in a salon getting her fucking head buzzed. Like that works. They'll take your eyebrows. They'll take one from your cooch if they have to. They'll get hair.
That's true.
I shaved everything, lasered it all off. I'm rich.
I'm rich, bitch.
Also true.
Shit. Oh, all right, Alan, or Burr, whoever's else doing friend or foe. I don't know. Sorry. But we have a very interesting situation. Speaking of restaurants, in the Heartland, state of Missouri. Yeah, that's right. It's a town, singular restaurant. They've made a very odd, peculiar rule. Tell us about it.
Let's see if you guys agree or disagree. Friend or foe, going to read a news story to you, and let's see what it comes out the other side here. Bliss Restaurant in Florissant, Missouri, near St. Louis, opened in May and has already garnered national attention for its age limitations. Owner Marvin Pate, 36, and assistant manager Erica Rhodes told KSDK that they intend on Bliss being an upscale destination in the suburban town. They serve Caribbean cuisine, but they will not allow men under 35 or women under 30. Quote, the restaurant is just something for older people to come do, have a happy hour, come get some good food, and not have to worry about some of the young folks who bring some of that drama, Rhodes told the outlet. According to the news station, the restaurant's hosts, in some cases, whatever. Okay, they're gonna have police officers checking IDs. I guess it's legal because they own the restaurant. Not a whole lot of legalese in this document, but I mean, I think you pretty much get how this thing spells out here. So, friend or foe, should a restaurant be allowed to stop patrons of legal age from entering it because you've got some sort of ambiance that you would like to portray? Or foe, no, everybody should be allowed in. It's a free country. It's a free country. You want to do business in a free country, you got to serve everyone equally. Wes?
Ooh, this is tough. I'm not going to lie, because the way I interpret it, restaurants reserve the right to make particular decisions like this. But I guess, like, is this not age discrimination? Not AIDS, age discrimination?
Maybe a little both.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean,
I would say yes. I'd say it's age
could-
discrimination. Yes, I definitely think it is age discrimination.
Yeah. Is that, I mean, this isn't, a civil rights thing. But at the same point, like, okay, obviously a restaurant could at a certain point say no one under 18 or no one under 21. But 30 and 35, they seem very, I don't know. I guess it has something to do with the financial situation of these people or the financial means.
I think it has to do with the maturity of the individuals.
No, I think that's what they say. I think that they want people who make more money to spend more money in the restaurant. They don't want fucking young people coming in and nickel and diming them. Yeah, I'll have water and just an appetizer.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the vibe I get. Like, it sounds like they.
Where you're going to read it again and it's not going to say
No,
that.
no,
Go
no.
ahead.
I mean, I get what you're saying because, like, you know, we offer delicious oxtails, and I know oxtail is like $30 an ounce. You know, so I know oxtail is expensive.
Is it?
From what I understand.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that that's true. That's poor people food, bro.
I thought so too, but apparently it's become a delicacy. There was a conversation about this at work, and I said the same thing. I thought it was just like, you know, like you find like a tongue, and I was like, oh, then you find the ass, which this is like a tail. No, apparently, like, look up oxtail. I don't know. I'd like to see how much oxtail cost, but apparently I thought it was expensive. I could be wrong, but this is what I've been told recently. But either way, don't let that influence your answer here.
So I got to draw on the line. I got to draw a line in the sand. Initially, I was going to friend it because, a restaurant can kick anyone. A restaurant or bar can kick anyone out for any reason. They don't. You smell bad. It doesn't. They don't even have to manifest anything. Like, we don't want your business. Get the fuck out of here. Now, you know, if it's deemed discrimination, there could be repercussions via the court of public opinion and or some sort of civil lawsuit. So I don't know how they get away with this, but I'm gonna stick to my guns on this simply because of free market and the subtle libertarian in me that restaurants reserve the right to do these things, albeit good or bad.
Okay, so you're friending this. They can discriminate based on age because they want their restaurant to be viewed a specific way. Alan?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess whatever, I don't remember what the stipulations were, but yes, friend, I guess, like, I think, yeah, I mean, it's your private business. That's kind of how this whole private enterprise works in this country, which sometimes some people don't like, and sometimes some people do like.
Oh, look at Alan becoming a Republican all of a sudden.
No, I was actually kind of backhandedly making fun of you dumbasses, but because, you know, it's like don't serve gays cakes, but then everybody else has to serve us because we're not gay and we don't want cakes. You know what I mean? That's basically the logic behind all of that. But
it's flawed logic because all cakes are gay.
well, fair. I should have said pies, but either way, yeah. But like, I don't know. This kind of reminds me, like, I don't know. You guys aren't urban enough for this, but maybe like, you know, if you ever listened to like 92Q back in like the 2000s,
listen, that was my AOL name, buddy. That was my AOL IM name.
They have fucking, you know, you come down to Grown and Sexy Night at the fucking Lux Lounge. You know what I mean? And it was like, it was fucking 30 pluses grinding on each other to Keith Sweat and fucking Jodeci and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that, nobody really batted an eye at that. And so I think it's a lot like that. You know what I mean? Like, and me personally meeting this age fucking cap also would kind of like it. Like, I've been out to a bar a little, like, I know, Wes, you still go to bars with like the youth around from time to time. I don't I go to bars and like if it's past like 8 o'clock, I'm like, ooh, the demographic in here is fucking young. I am out of here. I don't really get my rocks off on it anymore. So I don't mind this. I think I might go to it. I'm probably not buying expensive oxtail because I know what poor people food is, you fucking Jamaicans. Don't you tell me. But yeah, I think I've friended it. If that's what that was. I think,
it is. Yeah. You guys are finally getting it right for once. I'm friending this as well. And honestly, Wes, they're not saying it's for like, they're not even blushing at it's like monetary because they literally say, come get good food and not worry about some of the young folks who bring some of that drama. So they're using a very broad term with that drama. And I get what they're saying. I mean, you're talking about the difference between coming into a restaurant and there's a bunch of people like, maybe flipping through Justin Timberlake getting DUI TikToks on their phones, and then like some guy wearing fucking mismatched tops and bottoms, doing a little yacht rock dance to some, Caribbean music by the Beach Boys. There's just a different vibe that's going to come up, and they want that vibe. And I think you're right, that vibe does come with probably deeper pockets to buy items that the younger folk might be only getting appetizers for their meals instead of like, their what I'm claiming to be expensive oxtail entrees. But I do know that when the Rendezvous was in its heyday in Perryville, we would go down there, and there was a time where it was really geared for the 21 to 25-year-old crowd. Lots of cigarettes, lots of yelling, lots of over-serving. And then eventually when we all got old, like that weird age, all the old folks started coming in, and they were having like cover bands of like Leonard Skinner, and you'd get the 35+ crowd, woo, in the corner. And I was like, this ain't my scene. I'm going to go somewhere else. So there's just a different vibe with a different generation of people. What I'm more offended by is that it's men 35 and over that are allowed in, but
Right.
women 30 and over can come in. They're already putting us in a basket and saying, you're an extra 5 years deplorable. You guys don't grow up that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Checks
I
out.
feel like it's more of a, we could let some of the younger ladies in because naturally.
Well,
I'm sure a man made this rule and he was like, well,
they're still young enough to be natural.
ladies mature earlier. We got like
Right.
the 30s in.
I don't think
you say some man. It's probably men. It's probably
Well,
3
yeah,
or 4
it's probably a group.
just smoking cigarettes and doing performance enhancing drugs.
I think
All right.
I think
Gotta figure this out.
I think by the time a woman is 30, yeah, she probably isn't holding her White Claw above her head and fucking howling like a wolf.
Yeah.
I think it takes a little longer for dudes to calm that vibe down a little bit. We're hanging on to the youth a little longer than we need to. But no, I do think it changes the dynamic of the atmosphere. And so for that, if that's the restaurant you want to have, you're actually kind of lame if you're young and you want to go there knowing that's the vibe that they want to put off. You'd be fucking bored, and you'd make it an asshole time if you were there. So yeah. I totally friend this. They should be able to do this.
Yeah.
It would. You know what? At coming up on 45, it might not be the restaurant I want to go to. I'd rather go to a fucking party restaurant. So I'm not going to go to fucking whatever the fuck this Bliss place or whatever it's called. Yeah, Bliss. Nailed it.
This reminds me of a very classic 1976 flick called Logan's Run, where everyone dies after they're 30. You have a gem in the. It's futuristic. Takes place in like the, I don't know, 3 or 4 centuries from now. But you get a little diamond in your palm, and when your time's up, it blinks. But the main character Logan decides to make a run for it. Get the hell out of Dodge.
I want to watch that movie again with Justin Timberlake, by the way, where they like add and subtract time somehow.
Oh yeah.
That's a good movie. What's a good concept?
Was it Nick of Time or something like that? I can't remember.
No, Nick of Times with Johnny Depp and that lifelong janitor from Baltimore. I think we've talked about
Oh, Charles S. Dutton.
Charles S. Dutton. Yeah.
Yeah. No, his was called In Time. It's a good concept though. I like it.
All right, so Logan's Run, In Time, and Nick of Time. You got your work cut out for you next week.
Some movies to watch.
All right,
By the way,
well,
we got a good bad movie coming.
Bad
out.
movie, yeah.
But for once, the friends have it. If you don't want to go to Bliss because the youngins won't be there, I'd rather have restaurants straight up tell me what you are. Like rather than me have to like experience it for myself. Like no one under 30, but that's a long sign. I would just maybe cut it at like 33. Like no one under 33 instead of have that no men under 35, no women under 30, blah 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 blah. Oxtail's expensive now. You're welcome.
Right.
Yeah. The oxtail part should be at the top of the bulletin.
Did you find Oxtail, by the way? Did you look?
I mean, I didn't really look.
Yeah, I want to know what the going price on Oxtail is and if it's expensive or not. I just, again, somebody at work was just like, nah, like, and apparently it's not available anymore. Apparently somebody made some really good oxtail, and then everybody wanted to make oxtail, and then oxtail became like a delicacy over the last 5 years, and is like skyrocketed in value.
I'm just trying to look up Bliss Restaurant. That menu. What was it? Fluorescent, Missouri?
Yeah, Florissant.
I guess
Croissant.
it's really just expensive because of supply and demand.
Yeah, well, I mean that's how America works. So
Well,
at one
yeah.
point, it was like just
like
a cheap dirt food. It's like all of a sudden, if I created like a banging ass recipe for like chicken feet, and like something that people just pass by in a grocery store aisle, I could start charging like, I don't know, $8 a pound for it.
Well, also, like, you get like 500 pounds of fucking beef from a cow, but you get like 5 pounds of tail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just not quite.
20
Not only is there not much of it, there's not much of it on the cow to begin with. You know what I mean?
$22 at Bliss Restaurant for the oxtail. $30 lamb chops, red snapper, market price.
That's not bad.
That's not too bad. But I mean, but $22 for what?
Red snapper market price at a landlocked state, that bad boy's like $300.
Dude,
I got it right out of the Missouri.
I gotta tell you, I watched a video. It was some woman. She was in Japan, and she decided like she was gonna eat. It's just whatever restaurants were like told to her by the locals, and she went to a sushi place, and she's like, "Oh shit!" She sits down. That the menu has no prices on it. She's like, "This meal could be $40 or $4,000, and I have no clue." But it's a decision I've made. I'm gonna do it. It cost her like $200 for a sushi meal, but she's like, best sushi she's ever had. But I couldn't imagine that anxiety.
Dodging that bullet, yeah. You only live once.
YOLO. Sneak into Bliss with a fake ID that says you're 35 or 30 as a woman. How about that?
That's a good point too. That's like the one time where like you're not gonna fool anybody. You're not gonna go get like if you can already drink, you're not gonna get a fake ID just to get into Bliss.
No.
Could you imagine like a bunch of young rapscallions fucking like infiltrating and then like, overriding all the Michael McDonald with like, I don't know, whatever the kids are listening to nowadays. And be like, oh my God, who put this on? You're ruining the vibes.
I can't help but
You're ruining.
What the fuck?
You're ruining fucking beach night.
Dude, what's killing me right now, by the way, is all the reaction videos to like old Eminem because like the kids today just never experienced it. And I'm just like, wow. And then I'm also realizing how vile that really was and was just normal for us.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Like, I'm gonna kill you, like that song.
Yeah, he said some crazy shit, bro.
Damn, dude. And it didn't even fucking think. And then Limp Bizkit's on tour again. By the way, somehow sounding exactly like they sounded in 1998. Weird.
Like crap. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I mean, I'll say this: like Limp Bizkit, you can debate what. So that just means you can debate whether Limp Bizkit is crap or not.
Yeah.
But sounding exactly the same, like it's kind of amazing because he did do a good version of Behind Blue Eyes. Like he actually sang that song. But Fred Durst, I give him more credit now than I do when he was younger. Like to do it now in his 50s and to fucking go out there with his fucking cowboy hat and the same shitty mustache that I have going on right now is fucking, it's brilliant. Good for him.
Yeah.
And Eminem dropped him a lot. Remember?
Yeah.
He put Fred Durst in that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's another thing that dates Eminem so much so is like that, like, I'm going to sit next to Molly Sims. And I'm like, where's Molly Sims now?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Working at a fucking beauty salon in fucking Fargo? I mean, Jesus.
Christ. Oh, yeah. All right. I think it's time to get smarter. I think it's time to tell these folks what Friday is all about. It's about learning facts from your calendar.
Not just any facts. Fun facts. It's time, my friends, for your Fun Fact Friday. OMG Facts, brought to you by our great friend over on Instagram. Make sure you find him yourself. He is the Cuckster. And you can find him at Cuckster for Life on the Instagram. Cuckster on his North American tour currently. Where's the Cuckster this week, Wesley?
Cuckster is making a pit stop in Reading, Pennsylvania this week, and he will be in Cumberland, Maryland. Maryland.
We get it.
Yeah.
Wait, is he taking on is the Cuckster's wife? Is it Marty Jizz Sweaty this week?
Marty Jizz Sweaty, I believe, is it's got balls from the NWO.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Already
All right.
sweaty. So good.
So check him out on Instagram, Cuckster for Life. Is it Cuckster for Life or the Cuckster for Life?
Nah, it's just Cuckster.
That's right. Perfect. What a great it's amazing that wasn't taken already.
It's you know that Beatles song, "All You Need Is Love." Like, there's nothing you can do that can't be done. Basically saying everything you thought of has already been done. When I found that, I was like, here's to you, Paul McCartney, you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
I am original.
Oh, speaking of Paul McCartney, I know, brain farts here. The Rolling Stones, by the way, just put out a brand new song, and it sounds like a relevant, current rock and roll song. It's the strangest thing I feel like I've ever heard.
A replacement drummer. I know Charlie Watts died like
Yeah.
10-ish years ago.
Wasn't that long ago, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, Mick and fucking Keith are just fucking still moving, man.
God, I'm thinking, like, there's going to be a day where they're performing and Keith just blows up into a ball of crystal dust, crystal meth.
I think he actually just like at the end of Avengers, like it's not Endgame. Is it Endgame?
Yeah.
The one where they all
Thanos
dust away. Yeah. Like
What was a little bit in
Infinity War.
Infinity
that's it.
War, and then an Endgame.
Yeah, but I just feel like Keith Richards will just like evaporate into a dust and just sprinkle the crowd, and everybody will just trip balls for like a week.
Yeah.
That'll be his gift to the world.
He turns into a cockroach and then lives forever.
And then one Keith Richards spore plants itself in the dirt under the stage and grows again.
Right. Then it turns into like a Joe's Apartment thing. Welcome to Joe's Apartment.
God.
Of all the fucking obscure references, that might be my favorite one.
Oh my God. But Mick sounds like a young man singing this song. I was blown away when I was like, I don't know this song. What is this song? Oh my God. And I looked it up. It's a brand new Rolling Stones song. I mean, they made their debut closer to 1950 than 1960. I mean, that doesn't make sense. I think it was like 62, 62 or 64. Like, that's when they took off like a rocket ship. And the fact that they've basically been around since rock and roll has been a thing. And now in 2024, they've got another. That's amazing.
A song that sounds like a modern rock song.
Yes. Probably better than most modern rock songs that are out there now. It's amazing. Wow. It's just... But it's a Rolling Stones song, so when you hear it, you're like, yep, that's the Rolling Stones, just like AC/DC. It's like, yep, that's AC/DC, but it's still good, and you can't deny it, but you can't deny facts either. So let's get to them. Did you know Australia is the only continent without an active volcano?
Yeah,
I did.
That seems like common sense.
I guess,
Well,
but
wait,
like I
you
would
would think
any
Antarctica-
island country. Oh, good
Yeah.
point.
I didn't know that it has an active volcano.
Yeah, it's that kind of checks out too. It's extreme conditions, man. Yeah, there's definitely one down there.
Yeah, well, I know, but I would just assume that if there's an active volcano on Antarctica, because Wes makes a good point, if that's fact is saying that Australia is the only one without, I would assume that Australia would have an active volcano before, like, the Antarctic.
They have everything else. Fucking poisonous everything. Fucking
Yeah.
billions of rabbits.
I don't know, maybe like for me, I just like when you said it, I just like the global like a global map kind of popped up in my head, right? And like they're you can kind of see it. They're everywhere except there. Basically.
Yeah, but I would think because like the Ring of Fire like just barely misses them like to the northeast, like that they would have something. everything else kills
Nick,
you, like Wes
because
said.
the Ring of Fire misses them. That's the whole point, because like
Right.
that whole Ring of Fire is all tectonic plate boundaries, which is why you have fucking volcanoes and shit.
Yeah, but I think a movable island like that is that size would have with something going on. But I mean, it doesn't mean it doesn't have volcanoes. It just means they're not active, like rumbling. They ain't got the bubble guts.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe perhaps that's like the biological yin yang thing about it. Like, you know, they have venomous everything, the largest crocodiles known to man, that great white sharks all over the place. So like, listen, we'll take it easy on you.
Right,
We'll
that
just
was
make it
God's
all
one
massive.
reprise. Like, listen, everything's gonna kill you but the ground. How's that?
But you're gonna get a summer long fire, which
Yeah,
happened a couple of
yeah.
years ago.
Wear a hat. Always look down. Shake your shoes before you put them on. But
Yeah.
you're not gonna catch molten rocks to the
Not
face.
getting that, yeah. That's
And
good.
we'll give you a few national heroes. We'll give you a Greg Norman, and an Adam Scott, and Ian Thorpe, and a Leighton Hewitt every now and then,
And a Hugh Jackman.
and a Hugh Jackman.
I left off fucking the crocodile hunter.
Oh, Steve Irwin. Yeah, Steve Irwin. I'm now older than Steve Irwin was when he died.
It's crazy.
Let that fucking sink in. God. And those fucking kids are amazing. God damn it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be all depressed now. Because apparently Steve Irwin saved this one turtle that had never, like, spawned, at least, like, in captivity. They didn't know how it spawned. And this turtle that's named for Steve Irwin finally had baby turtles in their zoo. And the fucking kids all, like, crying and shit. I've never seen that kid cry. Kid fucking faces down, like, Nile crocodiles, like, every day, feeding them raw chickens. And he tears up because a turtle was born. Pretty awesome.
Poetry.
Speaking of poetry, did you know, while in Youngstown, Ohio, it's against the law to run out of gas? I like that. And Wes, you should take note. That way,
I'd be
where-
locked up in
where-
the slammer at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, where Dilby has bailed you out of jail how many times in a week?
Well, twice in 1 week around the same spot, and then 3 times total. Yeah.
It makes sense, though, because you're a fucking hazard if you run out of gas. So you should be fined for that. You have a gauge. You know what your responsibilities are as a pilot of an automobile. Okay? So you should absolutely be in charge of that vehicle. Otherwise, it becomes a road hazard. You become a hazard. And you know what? Unlike Justin Timberlake, you should be. I would rather Justin Timberlake get a ticket for running out of gas than getting his DWI.
Man, you're making it sound as if you know that it's just a ticket. The good old boys in Youngstown might just fucking
Beat the gas
step out
out
of the vehicle,
Yeah,
smash
that
it. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
like,
Sounds like
put your hands behind your back.
a lot like Goodwell, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of those scenarios.
Hey, Billy, looks like this one's out of gas. Yeah, looks like he's out of gas, but it's half a gauge. That sounds like out of gas to me. Might not make it.
That's to me.
Next
Would you
gas
put
station, 200 miles, unless you're getting 70 miles a gallon. Looks like you out of gas, son.
Did you put diesel in this? I bet you did, dummy.
Maybe a little sugar helps sweeten you up. Did you know the most germ-laden place on your toilet isn't the seat or even the bowl? It's the handle. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, you are just fresh from, like, wiping a thin, just not even, like, barely pliable piece of fucking tissue across your anus. And then you're flushing the toilet before you wash your hands.
I wonder if the same applies for bidet users.
I'd like to know that myself. I think us bidet users, this guy.
Yeah, us. Yeah,
I think we're spraying our fecal matter into a fine mist throughout and just spreading it throughout the entire room in lower levels. You know, like Chernobyl now.
Gotcha. This is Chernobyl about 40 years later. Yeah, okay, understood.
Yeah, like a fine dusting of fecal matter instead of just like a concentrated burst. I love my bidet.
Don't go licking toilet bowl handles.
No. Dude, you
Toilet
know how little
handles, not
toilet
bowl
paper I
handles.
use, by the way? It's now, if you have a bidet, it's a one wipe. Unless it's a disaster, then it might be 2. but it's a one wipe scenario now, man. You're just getting one nice ball of toilet paper, and you're not even like wiping the poop off you. You're just wiping the wet water off your anus. It's glorious. I recommend it.
You asked that question with conviction. Like, we really want to know. Do you know how much toilet paper I use, guys? No, not particularly.
A roll lasts me about a month. I'm telling you that now.
Whole roll lasts you a month?
At least.
Is the whole fam?
No, some ladies either really enjoy the bidet or they don't like it at all.
Okay.
And Maria, not a fan of the bidet.
Yeah, well, to each their own. You can't,
because it does have a front option too, by the way.
Can you make them go at the same time?
No, well, at least mine doesn't. I'm sure there's some expensive bidets out there, but no, I attached my bidet myself. It's just a toilet seat. It was $100 toilet seat, and all you gotta do is attach the hose to the water. And what's weird? Oh, if somebody just got a shower, I guess there's some backed up hot water in the line, and every now and again, I get me a nice warm burst. Oh, that's a treat, my friends.
Sounds like a hoot. I tried to talk my mom into getting one. She got the upstairs bathroom redone, and I'm actually at 41 with a mother who's in her mid 70s who's had a hip replacement and another hip surgery. It was like talking. I don't want to say like talking to a child. It was a lot of convincing to get her to get rid of the tub to do the sliding door, flat bottom. She was like, "I finally did it," and I'm like, "Good. I'm glad I bugged you enough to fucking do it because I worry about you." She's like, "Yeah, I got the." Well, then she didn't get it done. She'd gotten it scheduled to get done, and then she's like, "I'm also getting a higher toilet seat. It's like easier to sit down on." I was like, "Oh, you thinking about a bidet?" And she's like, "No, I'm not thinking about a bidet." I was like, "I don't think you really ought to think about a bidet. Be good for you."
Let me tell you.
She didn't do it.
I would tell you.
It's already done, by the way.
Well, yeah, but I would say just if you could just install one for her, and if she doesn't like it, then you could just uninstall it and keep it for yourself. Because I know that's what you wanted to do. You wanted her to pay for the bidet so that you could give it a test run, and then you could be like, "Ooh, I like that," and then you were going to install one in your own house for yourself. But if you didn't like it, you're just going to be like, "Well, it's in there for you. Good job. Congratulations."
I just installed the downstairs one, the guest bathroom.
Alan, do you have a bidet? Have you used a bidet?
I've used one. I don't have one.
How was your bidet experience?
It was nice. It's a little weird to me.
It is.
But it's nice. It's not bad.
Once I had my my procedure, and I got more comfortable with my own anus, I was like, man, ain't no big deal here. A little stream of water. Come on now. Plus, man, you can get some bats out of the cave that you didn't know were there. You know what I mean? You ain't done all the time. Sometimes you jar something loose.
I'm just curious. Like, I just want to like run around inside that brain for a little bit. You know what I mean?
You
Like,
should, man.
it's the same fucking guys. Like, you know what I'm a big advocate of? Spraying water at your anus. You should spray it heartily at your anus and clean it all up there. But I refuse to go into the lube aisle. I just can't do it. Hey, it's not me. Okay, it's not who I am as a person.
Okay, hold on, wait. Let me back up your logic a little bit here. Okay, now see what's happening inside my four walls of my home. Okay, that's I'm not embarrassed by anything I do to me here. Right?
Yeah.
It's alerting the public what I'm gonna do here. To give me anxiety.
What I'm saying is you're alerting the public to spray water at your anus regularly and being like, sometimes it's warm and it's nice.
Well, just to let you know, you make some fine points. I'm not going to lie. That's when I did buy the bidet. I had the option of buying the standalone bidet that was just the bidet itself that went onto the toilet with my existing seat, or I was like, I'm going to replace the whole seat. So when I go to the counter, I'm buying an entire unit that just so happens to have a bidet attached to it.
Hilarious. Yeah.
So that's what I did.
I like it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Australia, you know how they say the water rotates the other way when you flush the toilet?
Uh-huh.
The bidet it comes from the top down.
Really?
Yeah, it's a reverse bidet.
I know they love them down there. They're always saying, bidet, mate. Right?
God damn it. Next fact.
Apologize. Did you know? In Britain's 2001 census, 390,000 people listed Jedi as their religious affiliation.
290,000.
390,000.
390,000. Wow, shade under 500,000.
And how many people are in Britain? I mean, I know it's a country.
60-some million? I'm going to say, if you want to look this up, Alan, I think it's about 67 million.
Are we saying of like just England or
Well, I don't know what. Okay, well, now it just says it doesn't say Great Britain. It just says
or the
Britain.
United Kingdom? Okay, so I think that
I
would
would say
just
the
be
UK.
England.
Well, that's the United Kingdom. I mean, now you're adding Scotland and Ireland and all these other fucking hanky-jinky places. Okay,
Wales.
Britain.
We're going with just England. All right, what did you say it was, Wes?
67 million?
For just England, it is 55.9. Not too far off. Now the UK is 66. So
Maybe that's
super-
okay. Yeah, okay.
Well, let's do, okay. Just for my own edification here. So so the United Kingdom is everything, right?
Yeah, it's Wales, England, Scotland, and then Ireland. if I'm
Okay,
not mistaken.
so then
Northern Ireland, not Ireland.
Yeah.
Apologies to
Or yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
the
And their
special
tanks
list-
and their bombs and all that stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So then England is the island minus Wales and Scotland,
Yes.
and then Great Britain is the island with Wales and Scotland.
I think that's correct. Yes.
Okay, all right. So there you go. Look at that, folks.
And there's apparently a shade under 400,000 Jedis.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And by the way, this new Acolytes show is getting just brutalized.
I haven't watched it yet.
Well, apparently this is. I don't want to get into politics with Alan, but apparently this is what happens when you go a little too far to that one side. You get this, like the creator of this series apparently is gone full wokeism, and it's not making Star Wars fans very, very happy. And even George Lucas is pissed about it because they're making the women. They're like, well, women were never featured as heroes in the original Star Wars, and Lucas is like, who the fuck do you think Princess Leia was?
Yeah,
Who do you think was running the rebellion? Like everything. He's like, my movies were women centric. He's like, you got a doofy farm boy and a fucking like just Yahoo fucking gangster. And if it wasn't for Leia, none of this would have come together. Like, what are you talking about? The whole series is about women.
An 8-foot dog.
Yeah. Fucking Chewbacca. Love Chewbacca. Anyway, so yeah, and I've heard they completely destroyed the Force. They made the Jedi the bad guys now. Just destroyed everything that you knew and loved, and just
Interesting. I have to watch it.
It just makes me wonder why, when you have something as beloved as, you don't need to make the good guys bad to make a good Star Wars thing. Just make the good guys really good still, and facing a really new wrinkle in the bad guys' plan. And you've got, they're all arguing that the fans don't know what they want. I think the problem is the fans know exactly what they want, and you just refuse to give it to them. Like Deadpool is wildly successful because everybody was like, can you just like jerk me off with my fandom? And Ryan Reynolds was like, hand me the lube. Imagine that. A rated R superhero movie that they said would never work is one of the greatest superhero franchises of all time now.
I'll go to the Walmart and buy it myself.
By the way, I looked now because you can't find it. I was sightseeing at the Walmart. I guess so many people have become frustrated with the fact that they can't find a Walmart employee to even unlock the case for them for the lubes and the vibration products, that they now have a phone number on the cabinet that you then call to summon someone to come over for you to get your lubes and such. And
Okay, you the lube guy?
condoms.
You the lube guy?
Yeah, I know. Like, boom, boom. Like, as Walmart, yeah, I'm at the lube counter. You send somebody over here. Yeah, hold on. And then you gotta stand there with your arms crossed, embarrassed and angry. Nah. And finally, did you know it costs $20,000 per football game to broadcast the Yellow Line?
Damn, 20 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, I mean, think about the economics of a full game. You know, just
That's a good point, but it does seem like $20,000 is rather expensive for one graphic. I mean, I guess it has to be like, I would argue that now it's probably the most important graphic of a football game. Like nobody eyeballs the 22-yard line. You know what I mean? Like, who did you get there? You know, everybody's just staring at that fucking. It does make it a more pleasurable experience to watch a football game when you know exactly where the first down marker is.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that I can't. That's supply and demand, I suppose. But then again, you're right. I mean, come on, this isn't fucking 2002.
I know.
Yeah, because I think we've talked about something like this before, and you were one of a handful of minority that really liked it when the pucks, the pucks in hockey.
Yeah.
Like
I thought it was a great concept. It was too early. Like if they did it now, I don't think it would be I mean, because back then it worked sporadically. If somebody hit too hard of a slap shot, like I guess the chip inside would get fried for a second. Like it just couldn't keep up, and it would go away. You're like, oh, where'd it go? And you'd see like just a long tail for a second, then it would blip out. No, but I thought that when it was the way a hockey game is shot, I felt like when it was up close against the boards, it was nice to just know where the puck was. Because, I mean, a hockey
amongst
puck
the scrum, amongst the 10 hockey, 10 sticks and a bunch of dudes playing against one another. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, but I also think, so what did you say? It was 20 grand a game for the Yellow Line? Now that pales in comparison to the overall production value. I think every NFL football game to produce is, I would guess, somewhere around $2.5–3 million.
You think so? That much? For
Yeah.
each game? Well, I mean, you are paying every camera operator. You are paying, like, I mean, these cameras are not cheap that they use.
Especially if you get one of the now all of them. It used to be not all of them. It used to be a select few, but the I don't even know what that view is called. The one that's over the field.
The Sky Cam?
Yeah. I mean that they were like select. And they were like $1 million, and apparently to operate it, you had to be super, delicate, trained.
Well, now I just feel like they could use drones. I don't even think. I mean, I'm actually surprised that the NFL still has like the cables and wires going over top of the field. Because, I mean, they have been hit a couple of times. It's been a lot fewer than I would have thought. Like, some punts have hit, like, the cables, and they got to repunt and stuff like that. But, I don't know. I've seen what they're able to do over, like, in Dubai, having, like, full-on, like, movies acted out by drones, like, flying through the sky. You'd think that by now they would be able to, like, just hone in on the football. Just let it go.
Yeah, I mean, they probably could, but I think, like, I know for a fact most stadiums have, like, drone detection. Like, it's a whole fucking, there's legalities.
Yeah.
And like, at, like, FAA regulations and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sure you could get an exemption. I'm just saying, at this point, the technology's far enough along. You get 4 drones. You use only 1 drone per quarter, so the batteries don't die and don't get all squirrely. And yeah, I don't know. It seems like you'd be able to get better views too. Like if you had 1 drone that was trained on the football, and then as soon as it's released, like woo, takes off. Dude, those drones can go like 120 miles an hour now.
Yeah, but that fucking Skycam is basically trained on the football. Like,
but it's got those cables though, and sometimes I've never realized how low it sits on a cable.
Yeah, it can come down pretty low.
It's almost like
it can raise, it can lower and raise. It depends on what you.
But I've seen like I guess they came back from commercial break too soon, and it's like all the way down by the huddle, like by the quarterback's head. Mm-hmm. It's like, good Lord! I mean, I don't know how much those cameras weigh, but probably ain't fucking light.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
$2.5 million. That's my guess. I'm sticking to it.
But no, I mean, but $20,000 for a single yellow. And I did read that it's really tough to get that line because in the early days, there's all sorts of colors on the uniforms. Like, you don't realize that are there. And if there's any shading like that, the line just it goes away. Like if somebody crosses into it, it just so they have to like find like these very, very, very neutral. I don't know. It is a whole fucking thing. But I would think now with AI and the things that you can do in Photoshop, like, hey, make me stand in front of the Taj Mahal during the apocalypse with a dolphin shooting out of my ass. Like, you know, I figure you could probably pull something off that doesn't cost $20,000. That's all.
God, dolphin out of my ass. Hell yeah.
That's a drop in the bucket for him, though. Honestly.
And have me wash it out with my bidet. And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
I'm a little sore from this. Speaking of getting sore, tonight before you go, this is the Middle Class Hole's Badass of the Month coming out of Provo or Provo? What do you guys think? Provo, Utah.
I think it's Provo.
Provo? We'll go with that. Authorities are reminding drivers to secure their loads after a Utah bride-to-be was thrown from a truck while laying on a king-size mattress in an attempt to keep it from flying away during transport. Utah Department of Transportation officials said Alex and Lydia Ketzinger tried to move the mattress to their new home a day before their wedding by having Lydia lie on it to prevent it from being thrown out of the truck. Couple was traveling at 50 miles per hour on State Street in Provo when the mattress lifted from the truck and hurled Lydia in the middle of the road. Officials said Lydia was able to avoid oncoming traffic and reach the side of the road despite suffering significant road rash. I didn't realize this. This is a day late and a dollar short. June 6th marks National Secure Your Load Day, and authorities are taking the opportunity to remind drivers of the importance of properly fastening objects in transit to ensure safety of themselves and others. So I can show you some pictures if you want to see.
Yeah, I'd love to see these pictures.
Yeah, let's see here.
Though I will say that I successfully... Oh, no. Oh, man. She's a keeper, dude. She's wearing her.
And then that's her at the wedding the next day. Look at her arms all bandaged up,
missing half a tooth.
Still got she still has a thumb to give a fucking thumbs up. Oh! Looks like a skin graft, man.
Yeah, that is a skin graft. I mean, they probably took it from some of the loose hanging skin that was fucking ripped off.
Oh, and that's her wedding hand too. You see the engagement ring.
Yeah.
Chewy.
Ring's not fitting. Hands a little... Oh.
There's some gravel embedded in there.
Hey, man, you know what, though? I mean, good God almighty. And you know what? This is 100% his fault. And this might sound like I'm being like a misogynist or something. Generally in America, women are not known for securing loads before their wedding night.
That's right. You're right.
And, you know, like every guy, like, what's the classic? You've got a load that you got to tie down. That'll hold it. You don't throw your wife onto a mattress. You don't understand the aerodynamics. You're not a real man if you don't understand the aerodynamics of a truck and a mattress. Mattresses will somehow figure out a way to fly. That's what they do. I was able to successfully transport a mattress in a Mazda Miata. It was no easy fucking feat, but we made it happen, okay? But I thought she got bounced out. I thought he hit something, and they had a really nice, like, Tempur-Pedic and just popped her out the back. But no, she went out with the mattress.
You're saying you thought she flew it like Aladdin?
Apparently she did fly it like Aladdin. I thought that the mattress was just like so like cushiony that he hit something and it just sprung her up.
Gotcha.
And no, this is like she believes she can fly. So that's probably what half saved her. But yeah, man, you hit the ground that speed, you're done. And the fact that the wedding wasn't called off, God bless her. She is a badass.
To the badass of the month. That's right. And we can assume that hand jobs weren't given out soon thereafter, right? Yeah, that's.
I don't even know about soon, man. I mean,
it's November probably.
Unless you're trying to exfoliate, I don't think there's any time soon.
She just has a broomstick with a hand on the end of it and just goes.
Better get that hot girl on that.
Yeah,
There you go.
gonna get a hot tool. Spit on that thing. Yeah,
That girl.
I do know that.
Well, that girl. They found her. Apparently, some guy has already made hats like hot tool. Got to spit on that thing, and she has now already made money signing those hats. God bless her.
Good for her.
Good for her for not taking life too seriously, knowing the proper technique, and not being embarrassed about it.
No. Ugh. So, yeah, Liddy Kissinger. She did end up getting married the next day, albeit with a lot of ace bandage and the advent of makeup and a chipped front tooth. But smiles and congratulations to them. Old, what's his name? Jeff, whatever the fuck his name. There's a couple pictures of him. I think he does look a little bit guilty. Does look a little bit. Man,
Oh, yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Right.
dude, just to extend the badassery, right? If I threw a mattress in the back of my dad's truck and said, "Hey, hun, we're gonna take this mattress down the way. I need you to lay on top of it," Marie would tell me to go fuck myself.
That's right.
This chick said, "You got it, Jeff."
Yeah. Hey, my 130-pound body, I'll take care of this. I
Yeah.
got it. No bricks, no mortar, no fucking nothing. Nothing to weigh it down other than flesh and bone from a proud Utah woman.
What great American Utah man doesn't have some ratchet straps?
That's a good
He's got to
point.
put his ratchet fiance back there.
That's a good point. You just bought a new king mattress for you and your wife to sleep on and make love on for the next couple months. Sleep on for the rest of your lives. But yeah, it seems weird. Yeah, no, she cowboyed up. I guess like the other thing too is if like we're looking at it from a middle class whole standpoint, how much money did they put down? And if they were to cancel it, how much money
Right.
could they recoup? They'd be like, well, you know what? We're just gonna have to. You're gonna have to roll in there with looking like massive canker sores on your palms and just fucking true grin and bear it, biatch.
Well, I mean, I don't think that should end your. I've never understood this. Like, okay, like there's like a wedding proposal, right? And you've like, and the woman says no. Why is it always that the entire relationship is like Dunsky? You know what I mean? Like,
If a woman says no when a
Like-
man proposes,
yeah, like it always seems to be like if a guy gets down on knees, like, "Will you marry me?" And she's like, "No." It's over. Their entire whatever existence they had, it seems like it's always just 100% over. Not like,
well, I have my answer. Alan, do you think you have a?
I mean, I think it's probably because men's egos can't handle rejection. Honestly, let's
well,
be
it always
real.
seems like she leaves. Like if he asks and she says no, she leaves the relationship. That just seems. I'm just saying. It just seems like that's how that goes.
I
That
feel like it's
goes.
the other way around. Like the guy's always like, "Well, fuck that bitch." Then you know, she said no. Like that's how I always kind of see it. But I don't know. Honestly, how does it not end? Like
That's a fair. Okay, thinking about it, that's fair.
from either side, because like at that point, now you've embarrassed that man, and that man's like, "Oh God, this bitch doesn't want me." You know what I
Spent
mean?
a fair
Like,
amount of spent money on an engagement
Yeah.
ring.
Well, I mean, beyond that, I mean, I guess I'm just thinking like if they have the gumption to say no, then it's like, well, then I guess this isn't going anywhere, right? So yeah, I guess that does kind of make. Guess I've answered my own question thanks to you guys. Well, let me ask you this, Wes: what if Sarah said no? How would you have handled that scenario? Or what if she just said like, I don't know if I'm ready yet? Would that be a different scenario?
I think you're lying.
yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like that would have been very
think you're on-
unusual.
I think you're on drugs. Can I have some?
Okay, in your situation, yeah, I got it. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, folks, that's your middle class holes badass of the month. Congratulations on the on the wedding. I hope the king size bed is comfy for your
I hope the couch is comfy.
that skin graft rear end that's going to be laying on it for the next couple months. And the middle class holes wishing you blissful marriage. Alan, tell all the I don't know how to put this. Let's see here. Usually go with something in the show. I got to check myself up.
The white men who can't jump. How about that?
The white men who can't, the Billy Hoyle and the Sidney Deans of the world. Thank you for noticing this. Where to find the middle class holes?
Find there at your local YMCA basketball court. You're running pickup games and knee braces. But no, if you want to hear us talk more shit like this, please check us out on all your favorite social medias. We're at MDL Classholes on Instagram and Twitter. We're the Middle Class Holes on Facebook and TikTok and YouTubes and all that good shit. And then, of course, for your listening pleasure, please check us out on Apple Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. There it is. Those are words. Blech.
What's funny is I can't say any of that, but I know when you say it wrong. It's weird.
Yeah, right? Like, I was like, oh, that just comes out of my mouth now. I know that was weird. Yeah. Well, it happens, man.
You can say big cock, but I can't say big cock coming out of your mouth. Wow, it seems a little weird. Listener comments tonight: Portuguese Spanish mashup. This is where I was perplexed that Spanish and Portuguese were a little bit were similar. Alan explained it to me. Had something to do with French having sex with it. Julian Garcia, 3784, writes: Portuguese and Spanish are not worlds apart. She actually. I can tell she's a foreigner because she fucked that up. I had a Brazilian girlfriend a few years back. She spoke Spanish, but most of her friends did too. The major difference is how they pronounce certain letters, but the words and written language itself is not far off. No further than French fucks. I think she said it's F.EKS. She abbreviated it that way. She didn't get censored. Sorry, Julian. I didn't know that. It was a weird assumption to me to say that.
It wasn't a
Portuguese
weird
and Spanish
assumption.
are
It was just
different.
like a question that was based out of ignorance. And
Yeah.
you gotta
And not
go.
not like rude ignorance. Like, it's just, the true definition of ignorance. You didn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, my whole thing about carrier pigeons.
Yeah.
What the hell are those?
See, and this is why you can't know a bunch of languages, because then you get all hoity-toity. You go, actually,
Right.
it's not that dissimilar to Portuguese. Like, yeah, and then you get these motherfuckers. Fuck you.
I just have a Portuguese wife who is,
Yeah.
explained to me that, like, no, I don't know Spanish just because I know Portuguese.
Yeah, and, like, I don't claim to know Portuguese, but, like, I've watched, like, a movie and been like, huh.
But I've watched soccer.
I know 70% of those words. You know what I mean? And then the other words, I'm like, I know 15% of that particular word. It sounds like something, but
That word.
they did a weird letter number combination at the end and ended it with an ish. And I'm like, where's that? That's not a syllable in our Spanish. But largely the same.
Next, coming from cursing during a job interview on TikTok, Peter Cook writes, are you trying to look exactly like Anthony Cumia? Alan, was that you? Or Mer, was that you?
Yeah, I'm assuming it was me. Opie and Anthony, and I haven't seen Anthony Cumia in, like, I heard him on Rogan, like, a year ago, but I haven't seen him since Anthony was on Opie and Anthony, and that was probably 25 years ago now.
Yeah, I can kind of see it, though.
I mean, bottom line is, and I did send him a message back. I said, like, nope. I'm bald, and I think I've told Wes this. Like, any hairstyling I'm gonna do has to be on my face.
Yeah, but that's like all he had was the goatee. You don't have the goatee because I don't think you can grow the goatee. I'm still
Why do you do this?
Still unsure about it.
Why do you do this? Like,
What do you mean? Why do you do it? Well, I'm just making an observation. And you wear a nondescript black hat, which is pretty spot on. Like, hold on, pause. Give me a second. And then we can get back to why you can't grow a beard. It's not my fault. I didn't make it that way. I'm just saying.
I guess I got this thing going on for the rest of my life then.
See, look, you mean to tell me this guy this snapshot right here isn't somewhat similar to this snapshot down here? This guy, hold on, here we'll even blow it up for you a little bit more. Like,
I'll try to make the face.
Is it? Yeah. Look,
I don't know. Murr looks actually a lot better.
well, yeah, I agree. I would
Keep your
agree with
eyes,
that.
yeah.
Murr
Thank-
does
thank-
not look.
thank you.
Murr does not look like he has a drug problem. Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I mean, it's not that far of a stretch. Look, it's less of a stretch than Portuguese and Spanish are worlds apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just, look, I'm already like sort of self-conscious about changing my look in the capacity that I have. I kind of like it.
I told you I like it.
Well, thank you, Alan. At least you came back with something positive.
Well,
so.
dude, I told you I like it. I just don't like you. It's like you're hanging on to these pieces here. Like just
Well, it's honestly it's just the way my 5 o'clock shadow comes in, and I was on vacation. I haven't.
no,
shaved.
that's understandable.
And
Yeah.
I will admit,
he was doing Adventures of the Great
He
Wolf
was
Lodge,
he was on
Alan. Come
vacation 20 minutes away from his home.
that's right. Look, okay, bottom line, you know what? You can mock that, and that's fine. But no, like if I lived in like I don't know, like Bellsview, Florida, the next town over from Orlando, and I was like, we're going to Disney World. Like, I mean, it's still Disney World. If I lived in I don't know, Virginia, and I was like, I'm going to Great Wolf Lodge, no one would blink an eye. But because they just so happened, for once in my life, Alan, I'm going to have not just a resort, but I'm also going to have a Texas Roadhouse 10 minutes from my house in the next year.
Are we calling the Great Wolf Lodge a resort? Is that what we're calling it?
I would say that it's not necessarily a luxury resort, but it is a travel destination.
Okay. I've never been to one. I don't plan on it because I don't have children's.
I didn't realize how few of these there are. There's only like I think 6 nationwide, and one of them is in Texas. And my cousin who lives in Austin, he's like, "Oh, you're going to a Great Wolf Lodge?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah. Why yes, I am." He's like, "Yeah, man, I hear nothing but good things about him." Like, "Oh, well, yeah." Look, I'm not going to apologize for taking my 9-year-old to a resort built for 9-year-olds.
Yeah. No, I don't think you should. I think look, it's probably a great time for children and parents with children. Every time I hear somebody talk about it, I'm like, that sounds like fucking torture. But I don't have kids.
I'll say this: if you go to a Great Wolf Lodge without a child,
you're a weirdo.
There might be a list you should be on. There might be an investigation that should go into your background. But I will say, for what they have, for what they built in our small, quaint little neck of the woods here, well done. There was something to do. Great layout. Great job, Great Wolf Lodge. And I got to tell you something, man, and I'm going to take a second to be a proud dad for a minute. This kid got on the fucking wolf tail, which you get into a tube. They lock this fucking door in front of you, and then they drop a trap door out from underneath of you, and you're 3 stories up, and you drop about 10 feet before you actually hit the slide and take off. And this fucking kid, I went after him. I got to the bottom. He goes, "I'm shaking because I'm terrified. I love it. Let's do it again." I was like, God damn it if I'm not a fucking proud dad right now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you have to pay for each run?
No. I mean, we bought him the Wolf Pass. We bought him everything. So, I mean, all in all, we spent like about $1,000 for 3 days in this fucking place.
That's not bad.
And it was a good time. It was a good time. So well done, Great Wolf Lodge. Anyway, I don't even know why we got onto that. But I'm not trying to be
because you look like Anthony from Opie Anthony. That's what we got there. Of course, I don't even know where to begin. There's fucking 33 comments. We're not going to get to all of them, but why women sports deserves your attention. Court, right? This is on TikTok. Wow, women do watch women's sports. Let's see here.
You're fucking full of shit.
Torta Al Carbone writes, people would watch WNBA if women looked like actual women and not men.
Look, if you're
If
going to be
women-
an athlete, you're going to have a different, especially you have to be tall. Look, bottom line is, not every NFL player is an attractive human, and I don't expect every WNBA player to be an attractive lady either.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I
cross
responded, said, I responded and I said, so you're a lingerie football fan then?
That was good. Because no, they're
Slick
not.
Kill Lack writes, if women cared about their own sport, they would watch. Majority of the demographic is men, and they are not catering to the audience. WNBA just got good like 2 weeks ago. Hammer.
That's a pretty funny statement.
I thought you were laughing at this guy's name, Hammer. I was like, damn, Hammer time. That's the problem with women's sports. There's no athleticism. The games are boring and drawn out. Colton Swift writes, I will watch when it becomes entertaining. Watch at the PWHL. It's fucking entertaining. Do you guys,
Dude, that's
PWHL?
the women's
hockey.
Yes, and it is
Okay.
good. And let me tell you something here. By the way, douchebags. I find the women's. Let me correct myself. I found the women's national soccer team to be much more entertaining than the men's national soccer team for a period of time. And then until Mr. Rapinoe decided to make everything like a fucking political statement, and when it was just a sport, it was great. And the country was behind, everybody in the country was behind them. I mean, once you started making me like not like you as a person, I almost rooted for your defeat. And it's my own country, and I don't want to do that. But when it was just pure soccer, I will say it was a slowed down game, but it was a passing game. And the passing game always makes soccer look more like a traditional soccer game. The men get a little uppity. They do. Like when you've got like guys that can beat an entire team, they tend to be ball hogs. They don't make the sport look like the sport's supposed to look. United States women's soccer and its peak looked like soccer is supposed to fucking look on a elite global scale. And it was great for a time.
And I'll tell you, maybe not Mount Rushmore, but on the outside looking in of Mount Rushmore, the most excited I've ever been while watching a sporting event live. Okay. Now, some of this is going to be biased because of my hometown biases and my draw towards Baltimore sports. But when Carly Lloyd busted that 50 fucking yarder in the 2015 final against Japan to put them up 3-1, I about lost my shit. I about dropped my beer on my face and then pissed and pooped myself with excitement. So just tip feather in the cap. Anywho.
I just think a lot of sports, and we don't realize it, and I think we're realizing it more now, is that like your fandom does revolve a little bit around the personalities of the people who are involved in it. And if you can't find any like redeeming quality in the people performing, then you're just not going to like the sport. And I think that's, I don't want to rehash the whole Caitlin Clark thing. It's just, she seems like a straight-laced, clean-cut chick who's just trying to perform at the highest level possible and is getting cut down.
Yeah, she seems mad unlikable to me.
You know what I mean? Like she goes into these press conferences and
Murr just slid over that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, like now at this point when like hard fouls, I'm like, fuck yeah, take that bitch out.
and that, you know what?
And it's the media's fault. The media made me hate her. Like,
Oh, I'm starting. You know what? I will admit I'm starting to dislike her because she doesn't stick up for herself. Like the hard fouls, she should come and be like, "Yeah, that's some dirty shit they're pulling out there." If she needs to start saying that.
I see that's the problem is I don't think it's dirty shit. Maybe a little, but like that. I don't think it's any more than we see with like fucking people who don't like each other on a fucking NBA court or a fucking an MLS field or whatever. Fuck, hitting fucking Yankee batters, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna hit Gunner." Like, you know what I mean? Like, same fucking principle. I think she understands it's part of the game. She's a rookie. She's gonna get fucking flack, and the media keeps putting a spotlight on her and putting her on a pedestal. So these bitches are gonna fucking. Excuse me, ladies, y'all bitches, fucking petty. So like, I know how y'all operate. I hear you talk about other women. I know how this shit goes. So
I've been to Bliss Restaurant.
Yeah,
in
I don't
Missouri.
think for 1 second that because they're professional athletes now y'all ain't petty as fuck. You know what I mean? Be like, look at that bitch's nails. Ugh. Like, you know what I mean? Shit like that. So, yeah, I think it's actually, that's why Caitlin's like, dude, I expected it. I get it. Like, I give it back verbally, whatever it needs to be, but I'm just trying to play this game.
I just want her, like, I'm starting, again, I feel like my momentum for her is starting to change. It's like, I want her to, at least at one press conference, get a little frustrated and just be like, you know, if they want to headhunt, then they better start searching for me behind the arc, because that's where I'm fucking raining fucking doom from. So, you know, like, I want her to say something like, I know you're coming for me, and fucking bring it. That's kind of where I am with her now. But I do think she's getting fucking for a rookie. I think she's getting targeted pretty heavily for a rookie.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's no more than like rookies that get touted highly. You know what I mean? Shit happens in the NFL. Shit happens fucking just about everywhere. When the media puts all that hype on you, you're gonna get fucking hate. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but
Yeah.
I do feel like some of the people that are hating, like, they should maybe back off if they want a nice paycheck next year.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a different, you know, we can talk different story there, you know, of how valuable she is to the league as a whole. But yeah, I think generally speaking, from a competitive standpoint, I think we've all played sports and be like, fuck that bitch. I don't give a shit who she is. I don't give a shit if I am on a private plane because of that bitch.
You're right. You're
You know,
right there.
like-
You're right there too, Alan.
And professionals, take into account the ego of professional athletes, right? Like, they're all the best. So it's like, yeah, fuck Caitlin Clark, you know?
Yeah, I got to admit, I'd be fucking throwing elbows straight at the
absolutely.
I would be right at the bridge of her fucking nose every
you'd
night.
be catching one to the fucking kidneys quick. Like, yeah, fuck that shit.
Think about booting her in the vagina.
Yeah.
Fucking straight up. Justin tucking that shit.
Yeah, because, like, you know, you got bitches scoring like double doubles, and they're like, well, Caitlin Clark lost fucking 5 passes last night. And it's like, dude, are you going to talk about anything else? Like, I get it, man. If I'm one of those journeyman women basketball players making 75 grand a year, yeah, I'm probably fucking this girl up.
Gonna need a bidet to get this size 8 out your ass.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the 3rd podcast in a row we've dedicated a little bit of time to Caitlin Clark. So
This goddamn, this is bullshit.
got to get a counter. Had to get a counter. All right, folks, we're gonna wrap this puppy up. 4th of July is coming soon. Rest in peace, Donald Sutherland and Willie Mays. Do you guys any parting words? Is only the best way we can do. I think the only thing I was gonna do the Donald Sutherland in Invasions of the Body Snatcher, like, oh, but he's starting a lot of good movies. And actually, I thought Donald Sutherland was a bit of a kind of a hippie's man's man in the 70s and 80s. This is why my dad liked him. Willie Mays, I went back and looked at this. In today's analytical world of war, wins above replacement, Willie Mays led the league 10 times, okay? Finished with 660 home runs and served a year and 3 quarters in Korea when he was 22 and 23. And then he's like, oh, that's early in his career, Wes. Well, the next year he hit 41. The following year he hit 51. So I have to think that I pray that future generations of baseball fans don't undermine the fact that Mays probably would have been right there with Aaron. I'm not saying he would have beat him. I'm not saying he would have been had superseded him, but man, dude, Willie Mays was a special baseball player, and I never watched him with my own eyes. And he served in Korea, 2-time MVP, was one of the greatest, if not the greatest overall baseball player to ever do it. So rest in peace to you, you and Donald Sutherland.
Well, obviously, I mean, he was 93, so I don't weep for him. He led a great life.
Led a great life, yeah.
You know, I mean, Sutherland was old too. I mean, and like you said, for a hippie, and some of the things he probably put in his body. I mean, but the only thing I thought about with Donald Sutherland, especially, was I think I called his death for this year's death pool. I could be wrong. So I'd like a fact check on that. We'll get to that next week.
I don't even remember who I picked.
Yeah, no, we had to go over that.
I was going to say, you don't remember, then I thought about my own. I was like, I don't remember my own. So, okay, we'll do that, yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
Check it out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, but
Yeah. He
yeah,
played a
rest
great
in-
role in Outbreak with which is a great 6 degrees of
Times that we brought
separation.
up Outbreak recently.
The weird thing with Donald Sutherland too is like that he had all these like iconic roles, and then he also had like these like not iconic roles, but in like high budget movies. Like he was in like the Hunger Games and stuff like that, and it's like really,
Yeah.
and you don't realize like he the thing I'll say about Donald Sutherland is he didn't go by this like I'll do a comedy, I'll do a drama, I'll do a this, I'll do a that. He just did everything and was brilliant at all of it. And I think that's probably the highest like accolade you can give an actor is like I believed you in everything you were in.
You know, I don't. This is a very obscure thing that he was in, but it just kind of came to me that he was in Beer Fest for like a brief moment.
Oh shit.
He was like, have you guys seen Beer Fest?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's been
Yeah,
forever,
so-
but I definitely don't remember Donald
So
Sutherland.
he was their granddad, and like if you remember, he's in the hospital bed. Like they take him to the lawyer after he died. And his will is the video will. And he's in the hospital bed, and he like chugs a stein of beer, and then pulls his own plug and dies. That's Grohl in fucking in Beer Fest, and that's what I'm gonna leave you with, I believe.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, both of you. True Americans, very good people. So we'll see you next week, and then the following week, 4th of July extravaganza. We're going to sort out the details, but you're going to hear more from little classics. All right, folks, enjoy your sales. Have a good week.